Hi, we're here with Mango, and we're going to do a little technique of facial contouring. You notice Mango has this gorgeous round face, gorgeous cheeks, but we want to show you how to slenderize the cheeks, sort of cut in here to bring focus more into the eyes and lips. So there's a couple different things you can do to make this happen, and I'm going to share a couple of techniques with you. So Mango, please turn your head this way for me. So perfect. So when you're contouring, first of all, where does the contour go? So I'm going to draw a little diagram. Light falls, it hits her cheek. You see all that light bouncing off her cheek right there? Don't mess with that. That is good. And then the cheek starts to roll out and it peaks, meaning it's the farthest away from the face right there. That is what we call the crown of the cheek. And then right from there, it dramatically rolls under. That's where the cheekbone ends. And if you take your finger and you push up, you can feel this little blade that runs down, down your face. That's the blade of the cheekbone. That's where the contour starts. So I'm going to use my corrective / contour wheel. I'm going to start with a medium dark color, and I'm going to actually draw in for you where that contour belongs. And I'm going to go with my darker shade because that's not showing up. There we go. So I'm going to start creating a shape on her face for the contour. Now, for someone who wants a much stronger contour, using a cream concealer like this as a base is a really good way to make this last, especially for nighttime. So you see that kind of triangle I'm creating on her face? I'm going to swoop that forward a little bit. That's sort of the basis for her contouring, just like that. That's where we want her her contour to disappear. Now also, you notice along her jawline, it also likes to round out a little bit. So we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna come from behind her ear, and I'm actually gonna clip the corner of her jawline. What I mean by clip is instead of letting it round, I'm gonna draw a straight line coming forward. And you notice I work in nice soft strokes, and then that line goes here and it disappears back up under her jaw. Right? Because we want it to start where we can't see, we want it to finish where we can't see, just so we get the effect, just like that. So now we started some pretty strong major contouring on the side of her face. Turn towards me a little bit. Now the other area that you can contour is up along the top of the head, especially if the head is more square and you want to soften the corner. But you notice on Mango, she has a very soft forehead. No need to contour here, so we're just going to focus today on her cheekbone, turn this way again please, and along her jawline, just to create a nice shape. So now that that's in place, and do understand that using a cream is much more difficult, what I just did, than using powder. But if you want, you want your contour to really last and look good during the day, do this. So look what I'm doing. I'm taking my finger and I'm just blurring the edges of this contour. Just the edges. I'm just blurring it a little bit by pressing and rolling, softening the appearance of it just a touch before I put my shadow on. All right, so the contour is now started. Now I'm going to take a contour brush, and you can use like a deeper neutral powder. You can stay this way, please. A deeper neutral powder, a blusher, a bronzer. I'm using a darker pressed powder to brush to really create her contour. Now you notice I'm brushing forward, starting up from underneath her cheekbone and coming in, and this kind of sweeps down towards the top edge of her lip. That's where that's going. And you always want to brush in this direction coming in because you want the contour darkest back here and you want it to disappear as it comes towards the front of the face. That's the goal, the arc of this. And then also along the jawline, I'm going to heighten what I just did. I start from behind the ear and I brush forward, and what I'm doing is I'm kind of trimming the jawline a little bit, making it more flat this way, so that light cuts. And her face, it starts to cut up now. She's starting to get more this kind of shape rather than a round shape. But obviously, as you can see, this contour is quite, looks like heavy on her face from right there. So turn towards me. Turn this way, please. Turn all the way. Good, good, good. So you see it's very, very strong. And back to the center. So what I have to do is I have to make that sort of disappear. So you put it on and then you soften it. So then you take your face powder, and along the top edge of your contour line, you blur that down with face powder. And you work back and forth. And you also blur the bottom edge. And I say blur because it's like blending. It's like the same thing as doing highlight and contouring with your eyeshadow. And now I'm going to go over the center of it. But it's really important that you blur the top and bottom edge. And this way the contour really starts to melt into her skin a little bit more. It's there, it's present, but it really blends in. Same thing along the jawline. I'm going to work especially along the top to really blur that edge. You can work a little bit underneath as well, not as important. And then turn towards me, please. And then we get a nice cut into her skin that really creates a nice shape. So I'm going to give her just a little bit more height to her cheekbone. So I'm going to put a little bit more of that contour a little bit higher up and let it kind of swoop forward her lip line right here. And now you can see the face has the shape turned this way a little bit for us. You see how light catches and come back to center? So it's beautiful. I wouldn't call this natural. Definitely more towards evening. This kind of intensity is going to work better, but it definitely shapes her face. So that's facial contouring for a round shaped face. If you're watching this at makeupgourmet.com, I've listed my current favorite products to achieve this look. Click on one and try it. If you're not at makeupgourmet.com, go there now to see my favorite product picks for this look, as well as everything else we have to offer. How to apply, what to buy. makeupgourmet.com.